Okay, got the mic going. Can you hear me now? Welcome in, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Let's see, we'll do this. And we'll do this. We'll add that. There we go. Perfect. Okay. So we have that. Dan is making more tea. Let's see, we have Michael Zepeda from Arizona joining us today. He is running in their treasurer race. That's right, Arizona State Treasurer. Hi, you love. How are you? How are you guys doing? There we go. So I can get comfy while we wait. Good, I'm glad you're doing good. Finally got another new Legends limited character unit that you wanted in DB Legends, and this time it's the Saiyan Saga Vegeta from the 7th anniversary. Okay. Bet. That's awesome. Hey, you. Excuse me. Let me invite you up. Ooh, I don't know why I'm so burpy right now.
Is this working? Did we do this
Okay,
again?
I have audio.
We did this last time as well, I remember.
I you know what? It's so funny because almost everybody's had the same issue. Out of 17 interviews, we've had 2 that haven't had this issue.
Right.
Where all I know is if you're in this box and you can't find the button, you have to exit out and come back in.
Okay, I'll try.
Hi, Christopher. So he will be rejoining us in just a second. The camera on his is not working like it's supposed to. Oh, you have the Legends Limited transferring Kaioken Goku from the 7th anniversary. Now you finally have the other side of it, Vegeta. Okay, awesome. Awesome. And welcome in, Christopher. We has the Samhain. We got the Samhain. We got the Gangster Kitty joining us. Well, I've been on the link DM. You mean invite you like that again?
Okay. Did that do it? Yes, it did.
Now, do you have extra buttons so you can there we go, turn on the video?
Right.
TikTok is so weird. Legitimately, everybody has had to exit out and come back in. It's why? Why TikTok?
True. I don't know.
So,
How's the
everybody.
audio? Because on my end, I keep hearing myself glitch. Is it okay on your side?
Yeah, I hear you fine on my side.
Okay. All right. So let's just jump right into it, right? There's no sense of beating around the whole thing.
No.
We pulled off the signature count, which was fantastic. We got that, it went from 1,200 signatures to then we needed 1,771. And then they said, hey, the deadline got shortened by 2 weeks. And we still met, we did all that, right? And that was a wild feeling. Thank God for my wife and friends and family who all, we bootstrapped it, knocked on doors, went to public events whenever we could. And at the end of the day, when it was due, I was showing up in the morning, so excited. I was we got 1860, you know what I mean? I know my number because we just went over just by a tiny little bit.
Yeah. And you're I'm counting every damn signature over here. Right? Are you kidding me? Exactly. I'm not even 100 over. I know how many I got.
Exactly. So on that note, though, right, when you are going up against both the Republican and Democratic establishment, they have anyone who runs for office, they have a window of time to contest it.
Yeah.
And so this Monday that just passed, 5 p.m. was the cutoff. 4:43, I get notification that the Republican Party says, hey, we're contesting your signatures. And it's on a variety of different, they're essentially throwing the entire book at this case. So they said, you have people who don't belong to your party. I was Republicans, Democrats also signed for me because they believe in this cause of not having someone, or they thought that they had left their party and are truly independents because every single person we approach, you go, hey, I noticed on our list that you're a registered independent. Oh, I am an independent. And hearing people say that, we're assuming good intent. I'm not going to assume every single person's a bad apple.
Right.
Especially if I'm going out asking you based on the list I have that, hey, you are an independent. Great. Moving forward. But now what they're telling me is 402 of this, 1,800 signatures are belonging to Republicans and Democrats. And that's just enough. I don't have enough of a cushion to be at that 1771 number. If it was the original 1,200 number, that 400 you question me on, I'm still going to move forward. So I get to now be part of that whole phrase when they say it's just politics.
Right.
Right. That's where it's at right now.
We're just contesting it because we want to make sure that the signatures are actually valid and they're not signing for multiple people across multiple different parties.
Mm-hmm.
Or how about you could just let people sign for whoever the hell they want to sign for?
Yep. That would be a fantastic option.
Like, right? That should be the option.
Mm-hmm.
Because here's the thing is, you do realize there's a lot of people out there who actually change political party each and every election. They vote based on their conscience.
Well, so from us knocking on doors, exactly what you're talking about. We've met plenty of people that are like, I'm a registered independent, so I can choose which evil power they say. Like, and I've had someone actually say that. Which evil side do I want to go up against this time to like not have that person move forward? Right.
Like, which is the lesser of two evils? And that's where, we talk about, especially in politics. And I know this was back in the 90s where it was between Clinton and somebody else, and they were voting for the lesser of two evils, which happened to be Clinton at the time, and then the more recent elections, it really has been, well, they're just all really, really schmarmy. And there's a lot of people who aren't voting because they're all just really, really schmarmy and they can no longer do the lesser of two evils. Unfortunately, we have to continue voting for the lesser of two evils until we get everything fixed and balanced and where it should be.
Correct. And you know what got me though, when looking into this a little further, if you go back to within Arizona's history for who ran for governor during the Katie Hobbs time, and it was the famous reporter on the Republican side.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
What year range was it?
She's a former reporter, total Trump fan.
Yeah. So was this back in like the last decade or so?
Yeah, this was just the most recent one. Carrie Lake.
Okay. Yes.
Right. Carrie Lake was the MAGA chosen one. What I found out after the fact was the Democratic Party heavily invested in her because what they wanted to do was pin an extremist versus a Democrat. Mm-hmm. The Democratic Party felt that if they ran call it a Reagan-style Republican versus a MAGA-style Republican, they wouldn't win. So if we put all of our money towards a candidate who is very extreme, then we might have a chance to win.
God. See, and that's just it. That's again where politics becomes schmarmy, because it should always be the best options available, not, we're going to endorse this really, really crappy person who we know is really, really crappy and is not even part of our party so that our party can win. That serves nobody. That serves nobody, because you still run the chance of that other person winning. Who does that serve?
They're asking you to get headphones because I am echoing on their end.
That's just it. I don't have headphones. And that's what I was asking you, Dan. Is there echo? I'd already asked Dan to log in.
Wow.
Worst case scenario, I'll turn the mic off. Because that's what's going to be doing it.
I want to record and have proper audio.
See, but that's just it. Is when it plays back, it's proper audio.
Wow. But on the live, it has this kind of reverb.
Yeah. Yep.
Sure. So,
no worries,
anyhow,
PJ.
I'll see you come back. That's where it's at right now for me, right? We ran, we did the good work, put in a great effort, learned a lot. I definitely would do things differently moving. Like if I were to do this all over again, there's a lot to learn in all this, and there's a huge amount of respect to people who, want to put forth their name and their time, their energy, effort, and money for office. I wouldn't shy away from it. My thing is I'm thankful to the people that I met along the way. Like I would have never met you had it not been for this, right?
Right.
And that's part of what I learned, from the very beginning, which is you have to grow your circle. And who knows, maybe next time around, I do win.
And that's exactly it.
And I'm not kicked out on a technicality because, right now, to me, it feels like you actually had someone who could have stood the test of time against your candidates, that both sides were willing to fund, opposition research to go after me, right? For that way they can just go back to the normal status quo.
Right.
So we know the independent movement is growing. We know that it's working. It's inevitable. And I hope that whoever stands on my shoulders from this, takes it to that place, right? Like I gave gave that person the courage to say, all right, he did it. Maybe I can do it, know?
And that's exactly it. And that's where, okay. And this is why I talk to people. Just because you don't get it this time does not mean we're going to stop having conversations. Quite the opposite, because it's always, well, what's your next steps? Because I don't think you're somebody who's willing to throw in the towel when it comes to helping to change this country.
So I think you're somebody. My wife. Okay.
Okay, no, I didn't. But hey, yeah, now sounds like her. But it's just one of those. That's the feeling I got from you from that first conversation. From just kind of watching where you've been and having the conversations with you since then. Is regardless of what happens with the outcome of this race, it's not the end. It's just the beginning. It is the first stepping stone. It is getting your feet wet. It's getting used to doing the long form conversations, doing the long form interviews. It's used to getting out there and having the conversations with people so that next time you can hit an even bigger demographic, an even larger audience. So that way you do actually get the independent signatures you need so they can go, well, you got 20 non-independent, but out of 3,000, there's nothing we can do. I mean, absolutely. That's just the goal
and
and
here's the fun thing in Arizona though, right? Because you already talked to Chris, about him running as well on the federal level. In this coming up midterm election, you have two candidates running for governor. You had, I'm still in the race. I mean, I haven't been totally lost yet. I mean, I am talking to lawyers and trying to figure out if this is a worthwhile challenge for us to go after, but I also don't want to waste people's time or money either. But so then there's still me as a possibility. Then you look at all the legislative districts and you have about a half a dozen people who are running as well. So no matter what, even though I may or may not make it through, you've got other people who are. Mm-hmm. And that's exciting to know as well, because from the math of it all, once you have just a handful of independents within that, you're going to need their help, their buy-in in the Senate, in the House, all around in order to get things through and past on either side. So now you really are forced to make that old, political stance of, I work with my neighbor across the aisle. Well, guess what? Now you have to work with everyone, not just across the aisle, because now there's a third. I mean, you talked about when we first met, right? 3 options should always be there, not just 2, not a duopoly. We need more. It should
be always 3 or more. Mm-hmm. Minimum of 3 or more options for every race. Sure, put up one Democratic, put up one Republican, but make sure there's a third person involved too, because you know what? That actually makes it fair. I know they're afraid of the fact that if they give too many options, then the votes are too split and it might be too hard to get somebody who has over a 50% majority. Okay, I get that. But there's always something else that can be done to make it better, instead of just letting it be stagnant status quo and making it harder and worse. And I know that's part of what they're trying to do. We hear about the SAVE Act. We hear about the election security measures, how they're closing down voting booths, how they're, redistricting, how they're doing all these things to actually make it harder for people to get to the voting booths to vote, because they're sure that if they can do that, thank you for the heart me, then they have a higher chance, especially Republicans, of keeping the seats that they have, because they know based on what the president is doing and everything that's happened in the last 12 months, people are most likely not going to be voting red this time around.
No, which is why we're seeing happen, right? We're putting our Constitution, our democracy to this full test of it all. And the nice thing, our framers of the Constitution were smart enough to realize that we are all just humans. We're just people. And when given the opportunity to mess around, sometimes people do that. And that's what this administration is doing. They're messing around, trying to see how far can they take it. And then it's on us as, a voter, as a person who's involved in this, to step up.
Yep. And it's for all of us. And one of the things I was talking to some of my federal candidates about, I know you guys probably know each other on the Democratic side. I said, but let me tell you about some independents I've talked to who, if they get the spot, let me tell you, I will be getting all of you in contact with each other to make sure you know who your allies are going to that next step. Why? Because you need to go to Congress, you need to go to Senate, you need to go to DC, knowing who your allies are and who's going to have your back. I have 7 people. Oh, let me get you together about impeaching him. Why? Because y'all 7 of them are talking about impeaching him. That's great. 5 of them I know each other, but do they know the other 2? That's the question. If not, here, let me tell you about them. If so, great. Awesome. You guys work together. I did my part helping to get you to that point, even if by giving you a little bit of a platform. Because the other part of what I plan to do is, great, they're in office every 3 months or so. Hi, we're going to have a conversation and we're going to talk about everything you promised you were going to do and hold you to during the interviews. Oh yeah, now that you're in office, I'm going to hold you accountable. You're going to answer to me. And if you answer to me, then the others, you can hold them accountable. Why? Because you have one person holding you accountable and you're proving you're holding yourself accountable, which in turn means you can hold the people around you accountable, especially the people across the aisle who are not doing the best for the American citizens like they're supposed to.
Correct.
That's my main thing is, okay, let's get as many people into those positions so that we can right the sinking ship, because we are taking on so much water. Nobody's bucketing it out at this point. They're not even trying to patch the holes. You just got the rats, jumping ship like Marjorie Taylor Greene.
What is also something to kind of point out though here, when the Democrats would have the power and they were in charge as well, that power is intoxicating, I guess.
It is.
Right?
It is.
And the thing that happens here now is, okay, so now you've realized we lost power. Now we're trying to reach out. But what makes me sad though is we went to the Phoenix Chamber business opening event when they started, the legislative season out here. So the Democrats were there, the Republicans were there, the House, the Senate, everything for our state government. And one of the Democrat legislatures flat out went out to another party member for the Independent Party and just said, "Oh, you guys are the people that we're supposed to hate." The Democratic side. And what gets me with all that is, what happened to being about the people and everything else? So the big issue here is parties themselves, right? When you start having this party mentality, well, my party's down right now, so I need everyone's an enemy. Well, your job is to serve the people, not your party. Yep. And that's where I get screwed up with the two, which is why, for the rest of my life, I do not ever plan on being a Republican or Democrat. Through this election run, I ran through the no labels / Arizona Independent Party, because as a true independent in Arizona, you would need 45,000 signatures to get on the ballot. It's just not possible. Not that I'm aware of. I mean, if someone figured out a way to do that, then I would love to then also make history and say, hey, I'm the first ever nonpartisan candidate on a state level ticket. And we got 45,000 signatures to prove it.
Right.
But that's a big ask. Whereas Democrats and Republicans need less than 6, and they already have the built-in mechanism to say, okay, go to our local LDs, let's talk to them. Hey, reach out to our, they have this built-in mechanism.
Yep.
And as a new party member, right, under the No Labels Arizona Independent Party banner, don't have any of that infrastructure. It is truly grassroots, bootstrapped, and this is what we're doing. But the fun reality, we pulled off a Hail Mary here, even though the signatures are being questioned. The fact that we could get both parties to sue me says that we did something right.
Yep.
We ruffled their feathers enough. So I just want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to be on your channel, to meet your people, to learn a lot from you and your perspective, even though we don't live in the same state, but you have the same mission, which is helping people. I really do appreciate that.
That's just that is where it's country over party, because again, how I've been expanding on people where I talk about the representatives, and so that people understand it's representatives, and especially treasurer, it all applies. They first represent the constituents in their district, then their state, then their country. That is how it should be. That is how it always should be. Instead, we don't have that. We have people who are self-serving, serving themselves and the corporations. Mm-hmm. So my whole goal, and I know part of yours too, is I don't care which party you adhere to. I care about your policies. I care about your platform, and I care about what you plan to do in order to achieve them, regardless of what ticket you're running under, because I know there's a lot of people running on the Democratic ticket who would rather run independent, but they don't have that option because there's no way for them to generate those 40-something thousand, signatures in states that don't have a state independent party, which Arizona is the only one. So every other state, you're SOL if you're running as independent. So I've talked to a lot of people who are on the Democratic ticket or on the Green ticket or things like that because of that exact fact is they can't get the signatures, and there's no point in even trying because they know they can spend 4 years trying to get them and they won't get them because there's not enough people in their area registered as independent. I know in Indiana, there's not enough people in a lot of the districts to even meet that number because it's 30,000 or less in the district is registered as independent. How in the hell are they even supposed to get that number?
Yeah.
It's unobtainable. It's
by design,
unobtainable.
right? When you're in charge of the game, when you're in charge of everything that's going on, you set those rules so that way it's just you and your other buddy back and forth, and in front of everyone, we're enemies, and behind closed doors, we're best friends, and we're civil and everything else. And then we tell the whole world it's just politics.
Yep. So. You know, and that's the other flip side of it gets me is in public, y'all are mean and nasty to each other, which is not how it used to be. How it used to be. I can remember back in the 90s where after the presidential debate, they were actually shaking each other's hands and patting each other's shoulders and telling each other good luck. Like, good luck. I genuinely wish you luck. May the best man win.
Kudos to former, Senator McCain, who did the exact same thing. People were talking smack about Obama, and he said, whoa, hold on, I know him. And he's a decent man.
Yeah.
And it was no longer about pointing fingers or, what the current president does and his attitude towards anyone who's not part of his, circle is atrocious. Even those who are within his circle is atrocious. You don't stand a chance.
No.
But,
no, you cross him and you're done. You do a single thing he doesn't like and you're done.
Yeah. I think overall, no matter what, though, I learned a lot. We ruffle some feathers in a positive way to show that this system, if you got the right drive, the right heart, I think in this, I think your heart matters for this for sure. We pulled off something, on literally a shoestring budget. When we hear people go grassroots, donate $10,000. No, I'm capped at $220 donations. We did all of this, on pennies on the dollar. I mean, the ROI, if you will, for the business people who are out there, it's like we 10x'd it, if not more, because it's passion and the fact that I'm saying I'm not taking corporate donations, I'm not taking PAC money. Everything is out in the open and exposed. And what else would you want to happen other than this?
So, and that's where I think that it's people really shine is because there's more and more people who are coming to all of this with passion, and it is a passion to serve others. It is a passion to help others. It is a passion to right the ship. That's the passion. That is what people are going to hold on to. That's what people are going to see is we are so tired of impassionate people who are just there with their political smile and they're fake. We want people who are passionate and authentic and willing to bear themselves and be like, hey, listen, I did this all on like $5,000. I am freaking proud of myself. Let me tell you. And you should be. You should be absolutely proud of yourself because you are trying to do something that is uphill battle both ways in the snow without shoes with 100, pound backpack on and, bleeding out a trail. I mean, it is as impossible as it can get and you're still trying. And I love that because you know what? If we band together, if more people are doing that impossible climb, it starts to become less impossible because more and more people will be there saying, hey guys, that's not right. We really need to fix this. So it's a multi-party system. And that's one of the things that I've talked to a lot of people about where the two-party system serves nobody. It serves nobody. We've talked about different ways that it can be done by ranking. It can be done by this. It can be done by that. Remove the electoral college. Like there's a lot of different things that can be done. And mind you, Congress on the federal level is actually the house that has the ability to make those changes.
Yeah, but why would they?
Well, here's the thing, is if you get enough people in there who want these changes, thank you, Berg, which is exactly what's happening right now is I'm hearing more and more people who are running, talking about term limits, age limits, things like that, where they're realizing that we cannot have our country ran by somebody who's 75 or older. It's an octogenarian should not be running our country. Yeah. I'm not sorry when I say that. I love Bernie, but even he is at the point where he is too old.
Yeah.
Not because I think he can't do it.
And in fact, I might even be too old. I get it. Right. I'm 43. I'm 42. I'll be 43 this year.
You're not. As far as I'm concerned, it is Gen X and millennials' turn to stand up and take back the flag from the old guard because the old guard is no longer serving us. Yeah. It is our job. It is people who were born in the 70s and the 80s. It's our turn to stand up and do the things because we need to do the things. It's our job, guys. Yeah. We are obligated to.
I think what I will do for right now is I'm gonna because literally your audience doesn't know this, right? I was on the phone literally with attorneys like right before all this, and I'm kind of in the middle of all that right now.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we plan to chat in a couple of weeks when all the dust sort of settles, and I can kind of let you know like that now next stage, right? We talked before. Our first time was, hey Michael, like let us know if you hit the signature count, which I did that, and
we got that.
was like cool. That hurdle's been met, but now it's hey, the two parties are not so sure about the validity of your signatures, and they want to sue me over that. And I got to see what happens there. And so, if you're open to me checking in with you, we'll check back in with everybody. I would love to do third time's the charm, maybe. Say, hey, here's where we're at.
And here's the thing: is like I said, is I plan on having you on every 4 to 6 weeks to touch base with you, find out what's going on, find the next steps. Because again, even if you don't get it this time, I plan on helping you get awareness, spreading your message out there, what you want to do for the state of Arizona if you do become treasurer, and then run again next time.
Yeah. Okay.
Because here's the thing is, I know for you, it's not the end. You talk with too much passion.
Well, if any of your people out there know, like, hey, we have literally till Friday, we have a status hearing, and if anyone has any ideas where they want to put someone like me with this kind of energy and passion, I'm open to hearing about it, because I got to do something with all this. It's like, I do have a burning desire to want to serve people. It's why I became a public school teacher. I believe very much that rising tides do lift all ships, and that we all have an obligation as human beings, as Americans, as fellow citizens here in this great country, to help each other, not hurt each other. And if that is too woke, if that is too crazy, well, sorry.
It's one of those, if it's wrong for me wanting to make sure that children don't go hungry, vets have roofs over their heads, and everybody has health care, then I don't want to be right.
Yeah.
I don't want to be right. Yeah, because if it's wrong of me to want that for other people, I'm good. I'll be wrong for the rest of my life.
Agreed. John, you're awesome. Thank you so much for the time. No, seriously, you're a fantastic human being. I'm sure your audience, so like, look at the comments, how much they love you and show appreciation and respect to you. It is fantastic that you do this and continue this. I know it takes a lot out of your family, your cats. I saw the cats.
There's one right here. Well, my husband making sure that I have the time, and like he took the girl so that she wouldn't be too loud while I was doing this, things like that, where my family supports me. They understand. They ask, do you have an interview today? What time is it? And they make sure that they're quiet while I'm doing it, so that way I can focus on you guys and give you the platform you deserve.
Oh, and thank you for that. And we'll chat again. Like you said, we'll check in 4 to 6 weeks. Yes. I'll let you know what happens, because it's definitely a wild ride right now.
It is. And so, like I said, we will check in. I definitely want to know. I know right now we are still fighting the good fight, and then if nothing else, I know that you'll help the other independents. I plan on getting Chris back on. He's actually back on Monday, I want to say.
Okay.
Let me double check that. The 13th, he'll be on. So it's one of those, I'm definitely helping with him. If you have any other independents in Arizona you think I should reach out to, let me know their names. I will reach out to them. Perfect. I want to get as many people on, especially independents, progressives, socialists, things like that, where they are willing to do the hard work to move us forward instead of backwards.
Yes. No, we don't. All right, Shadow. You have a beautiful day. Thank you.
You too. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.
Maybe. Hi, Berg. Okay, guys, so that was Michael Zepeda. He's on from Arizona. He is running for their treasurer. He did get the signatures he needs for the ballot. However, he is being contested by the Republican and Democratic parties. So we will check back with him in a few weeks to find out how he is doing with that. I'm going to go ahead and end this live. I think I might actually pop back on here in about 20 to 30 minutes and just do a normal chill and vibe stream. So I'll see you guys then. Much love and take care.